SGA live? Sheesh, that must be interesting. I guess if you live in the city, though, it don't matter what state you're in. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but like for the most part, even the most red states, if you live in the city, you're good for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna find black people, Hispanic people, liberal white people. Yeah.
Yeah, which votes
But I feel like I wouldn't trust that theory though in a place like Idaho.
86.73% of the time with Trump Republicans. Number 4, North Dakota. They vote 89.19% of the time with Trump.
Yeah.
Number 3, West Virginia.
Yes, sir. Makes sense with their capital city being named the same name as one of the most prolific, notorious, and infamous raccoons on the internet. Charleston White. Wow, that makes sense. That makes sense that dude that was prophetic. They named that dude Charleston.
91
West Virginia. Oh yeah, they super racist over there.
85% of the time with Trump Republicans. Number 2, Wyoming.
Yeah.
They vote 92% of the time with...
Is it a surprise that that's where Kanye wanted to build his home? When he was like, we're going full MAGA. I want to move from California, a very blue state. Where does he move to? The second most red state in the country. Not a surprise.
Trump. And coming in...
Number one got to be what?
As the most fascist-loving state in the country, South Dakota, who votes with MAGA 92.86% of the time. Over the past 10 years, South Dakota has not wavered its support of Trump. 5 of their 66 counties voted Democrat in the last 3 presidential elections. One of their counties, Ziebach County, voted for Trump in 2016, then Biden in 2020, but then went right back to Trump in 2024. South Dakota's state House of Representatives.
And if you pay attention to the top 10 most red states, these states, no offense, don't seem like really cool places to be, right? Nobody's like, oh yeah, like no one comes to America and is like, man, I gotta go to South Dakota. You know what I'm saying? They want to go to California. They want to go to New York. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Texas, Florida, pretty red states. People want to go there too. But the bottom 10,
you have to stop them from securing the mission area.
5 Democrats and 65 Republicans. Their Senate has 3 Democrats and 32 Republicans. Their last governor was Kristi Noem before she went to work for Trump directly.
But when you think about it, when people go to Texas, where do they want to go? They go to Houston, Dallas, Austin. Very good.
And write a book bragging about murdering puppies. But she was replaced by Larry Roden, who massively supports concentration camps for American citizens, is proud of his
Kristi Noem from South Dakota? That makes so much sense.
stance against women's health care, and signed a bill to ensure people won't come, quote, under assault for worshiping God. As if in South Dakota that was happening in the first place.
For sure.
But we didn't want to stop there. Like I said, we had over 1.3 million data points. So why not narrow it down even further and find the most fascist counties? That led us to ranking the 66 counties in South Dakota. Therefore, from Butte to Minnehaha and from Swamp to Minor, which I guarantee you are all real counties, we looked at every county in South Dakota. The most liberal of them was Oglala, Lakota, Todd, and Buffalo counties, all of which shockingly don't have the largest cities in South Dakota. Each of their largest cities are only populated by a few thousand people. Then we looked at the other side of this list to find out which is the most fascist-loving county in all of America. And in a landslide victory, that was Harding County, South Dakota. They have a total population of 1,325 people. Out of them, only 1,020 of them are over 18 years old and eligible to vote. 93.2% of them are white, 52% are men, and nearly 12% of their population lives under the federal poverty line.
Wow. See? 4 white. That's really propping up MAGA at this point. Dang, and it's a sausage fest over there. Or ended women. Well,
The county's main industry is beef cattle ranching, so you'll see a lot of open fields across the nearly 2,700 square miles of land. But if you ever go, and I cannot recommend you do, you'll only see a bunch of old buildings because the entire county has not issued a single new building permit in years.
Wow.
Harding County voted for Trump in all three of the last presidential elections, with nearly 2,200 votes in favor of Trump, and only 135 total votes across all three elections for Democrats. Harding is also represented by far-right Republicans in the federal House and Senate and in their state House and Senate. Harding is made up of a total of 13 towns or cities. And you might be wondering why they only have a population of 1,300 people. Well, that's because not one, not two, but 5 of those towns, including Bullock, Gill, Gustav, Clarendon, and Willett, are ghost towns that were completely abandoned years ago. And yes, there's a town there named after Karen.
I want to talk to you.
Another town called Sky Ranch has no mayor or city council that we can find any record of. 5 more, including Ladner, Ludlow, Ralph, Redate, and Riva, are unincorporated, and that leaves us with just 2.
So what's the logic there? Why are these towns, which have clearly been so neglected by the federal government, so neglected by their state, so impoverished? 12%, it's mostly white people, and a large percentage of them are on food stamps, clearly on welfare. Why vote for Donald Trump? Jeez, that's weird, right?
Towns left. Now, I can skip ahead to...
Actually, it does make sense. It's because they're so poorly educated. The more poorly educated you are, and the poorer your critical thinking skills are, the more you surrender your decision-making to whatever tribe or group you subscribe to. Right? Makes sense. This is why the less you read the Bible, the more you're going to believe your pastor. You know what I'm saying? The more you're just going to go along with whatever the majority of the group seems to be saying. And so that's what's happening here. These are people who probably lack, they probably are incredibly illiterate or have a very poor literacy rate, very poor critical thinking skills, and horrible media literacy. And so they are well aware that they aren't equipped to evaluate any of this shit. So they are going to do whatever Fox News says. They're looking, okay, which side of this side? Which side is the Christian side? Which side is the Jesus side? Which side is the white side? Okay, it's this side. What do they say? Oh, okay, that's what he said. How it works. And everybody does this. Like, everybody surrenders, for the most part, to whatever is the position held by the group. If they, for whatever reason, are not capable of parsing through the relevant data themselves. Even highly literate, intelligent people. Why? Because we can't all be experts on everything. And so, for instance, if you're a lefty and a progressive, but you haven't found the time to read a lot of data on vaccines or climate change, for instance, and you know, you could have gone even to a basic class on these topics. I can probably guess correctly, though, that you do believe that climate change, right, is a problem, or the way in which the climate is changing. Global warming is a problem, and you probably feel very confident that vaccines are a net positive for society. And why is that? It's because you have surrendered to the group, even though you haven't had the opportunity to parse through it yet. And so it's not a bad thing. It's not necessarily a good thing. It's just what humans do. The unfortunate thing, though, is where's the bar, right? The bar of, like, political science education, American history education, and the bar for critical thinking that should allow you to see through this MAGA ideology is so so fucking low. That's why it is like appalling that there are people who still have to surrender to Fox News and surrender to the MAGA group that thinks for them. It just goes to show how poorly educated they are. Because this is not all Republicans. This is not all conservatives. There are a lot of Republicans, a lot of conservatives at this stage who have, plugged out. They're embarrassed that they voted for Trump. They're still conservative. They're still probably going to vote Republican in the next election. But they are embarrassed that they voted for Trump. They are embarrassed that they ever aligned with MAGA. They are embarrassed about these things. That is a sizable portion of the conservative base at this point. Right? So they have enough critical thinking to at least be able to admit that Trump is not aligned with the things that they want, right? Or that he's misaligned with their values, he's misaligned with their politics at this point. And so they've unplugged. These people, though, over here in fucking South Dakota, they're still tap the fucking duck, you know what I'm saying? Because they need to be, because they're just not smart enough.
The first place winner, but then we'd be missing out on all the fun stories we uncovered about the runner-up. See, the second place winner is a town named Crooks. Yes, the second most Trump-supporting town in all of America is called Crooks. And the citizens there call themselves the Crooks.
Wow.
For those paying attention, you'll notice a weird similarity here to a man named Thomas Matthew Crooks, who allegedly tried to shoot Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Even though Trump's ear flew back faster than Kristi Noem's love for killing puppies.
Do you want to go down this road?
It's like I said before, in rural communities like this, it's not like local politicians put Republican or Democrat next to their name on a ballot or their website. Many times they like to claim to be nonpartisan so they can get votes from both sides. But if you look at their personal pages on social media, you'll start to get a sense of what they support. Crooks is governed by 4 city council members, but one of those seats has been vacant for a while now. The other 3 include Mike Harstad, who follows a bunch of liberal comedians like Steve Hofstadter, Jimmy Kimmel, and more. Eric Shute and Alan Beret both support liberal causes and sometimes even attend Pride events. But their mayor is F. Butch Ossoby, which is a terrible way to sign your name, by the way. It's like he's saying F him the entire time. And considering his policies, I tend to...
This guy looks like he looks like he's indicated. You know what I'm saying?
Agree. F. Bush is very outspoken for his support of building data centers across the open farmland of Crooks. The same farmlands they currently use for their main industry of cattle ranching, he thinks to be replaced with warehouses and data centers to kill the environment. Now, if a giant corporation wants to waste their money building a server farm in the middle of Tornado Alley, I don't really want to get in their way.
Right.
But we really cannot blame F. Bush here. After all, he's pretty new to the job of being mayor. In 1997, he was convicted of the federal crime of driving a public official. And I can hear you asking, what happened to the old mayor then? Well, their old mayor was reportedly fired after he was charged with murdering 3 people.
Wow. Right, but black people, though. Right? For black values. This is the most Trump fucking town in the country, right? This is what they got going on over there. Their mayors, their political leaders are literally murdering people, bro. Come on.
What the hell is this town? See, it was worth talking about the second place winner. Anyway,
okay, my bad.
#1,
that's the second place town. Shit. It needs to track it.
Most fastest Trump-supporting town in all of America.
Okay, let's get
Buffalo, South Dakota.
Yeah.
With the
That makes sense. Buffalo? Feel like I ain't never heard nothing good about Buffalo. Yeah.
population of just 278 people, it has the same federal and state elected officials as Trump.
Okay.
It even has the same 5 school board members because Hardin County only has 1 school district. But the reason Buffalo ranked at #1 in all of America was because of its 5 city council members. First is Doris Stagman, who is shockingly a man with a name Doris.
Wow.
Now, I can show you all of the Republican things he likes, but there's quite possibly no image on the entire internet that screams Trump lover more than this one.
Oh,
No image.
yes, sir. Yeah, no, definitely. White man living in rural part of America with a woman's name, with a girl's name. That guy, he's a good old boy. Yeah. He's been in relationships with people that are probably closely related to him more than likely. Yeah.
Trump lover more than this one. Second is Stacey Lindholm, who shares posts in the Christian.
Boy. That right there. These glasses, they got to trademark this. Yeah, they got to trademark this, man. Those glasses right there, or the colored Oakleys, you already know what's going on with that.
Broadcasting Network, or CBN, a known propaganda tool for Trump, who follows the terrorist Charlie Kirk and posts how awful Democrats are all the time. Third is Tex Lorman, who regularly shares posts in support of ICE, concentration camps for American citizens, and lies about Minnesota daycare. He massively supports Russia. He shares racist posts all the time, and just
you know why these fuckers love Russia so much? Because we started to the Democratic president, the most recent Democratic president, Joe Biden, is of course a strong supporter of Ukraine. That's it. Because Ukraine and protecting Ukraine and allying with Ukraine just became as a brand associated with the Democrat Party. These people are just, so we must love Russia now. That's it. That's the whole thing. Russia, not Ukraine, has been proven to have tried to manipulate American elections. Every American should be anti the Russian government. But yet, these people who are supposedly so patriotic and love America so much are supportive of a nation with a government that is actively trying to undermine our democracy. Isn't that insane? But it's just because, fuck the libs, right? Own the libs.
Sure, everyone knows how tiny his dick is. He sprinkles in a little transphobia every so often. His is Sean Twimple. He doesn't want you to think Tex Lorman is the only racist in Buffalo. He shares racist posts all the time too, and is a proud supporter of the terrorist Charlie Kirk too. He wants you to know that he's homophobic, transphobic, and a huge supporter of Clarence Thomas. John claims to be against...
Very worried about trans people, probably never come across a trans person in his entire life.
And condemns alleged pedophiles online when someone in his community of 200 people is charged with raping an underage girl. But he also shares almost everything in support of Donald Trump, a man who is the world's most notorious pedophile. That's right, Trump, sue me for calling you a pedophile. Just remember, the first thing I'm asking for in discovery is the full unredacted Epstein file.
Yeah, you know what? You said that, not me. Listen, I didn't say that was law, right? He said, okay, do I disagree with him? That's not what we're talking about here. Do I agree that he's actually right and he's correct? That's not the conversation we're having. What I'm trying to tell you is he's the one that said that. Am I co-signing it? I didn't do that. Did I not co-sign it? You know, are you co-signing it?
But if John was so concerned with the safety of children, perhaps he should look at its own city. On a completely unrelated note, the 5th city council member of Buffalo, South Dakota, is Brandon Schleiman.
Oh, yeah. That's a good old boy right there. That's a real American patriot right there.
Brandon ran for city council. He missed the incredible opportunity to use the slogan, "Let's go Brandon." But on the surface, he's just your average fireman who owns his own tire and leaf garage in town.
Nice.
He dresses up as Santa for the kids in their neighborhood.
What's that?
To sit on his lap and make their list for Christmas.
Right.
But then we started looking at his interests, and we noticed a weird trend. For legal purposes, I'm a...
Yeah, think about that. Who's the guy that wants to dress up as Santa? You know what I mean? Like, the only appropriate guy to dress up as Santa is the guy that had to be forced to dress up as Santa. The guy who didn't want to be dressed up as Santa, but like his wife was like, "Oh, baby, like that's the guy." The dude who has no kids that just is like, "Man, I love dressing up as Santa." Yeah, that guy, you gotta watch that guy.
In no way saying anything inappropriate is going on here, but he does follow an awful lot of adult film accounts that feature very, very young girls that, to me personally, look like they could be teenagers.
I mean, well, I'm sure this is one of those guys who has a very particular position on the age of consent. You know, he's probably one of those guys who like to talk about, look, the Virgin Mary was 14. You know, he's one of those guys. Yeah. Well, you know, the age of consent all across, there are plenty of European countries where the age of consent is 14, 15, 16. Like, he wanted.
And for city council to be filled with Trump supporters who openly share their support of terrorists responsible for the January 6th attack on our Capitol, share homophobic, transphobic, and racist views, share their support of Mother Russia, and follow young girls on Facebook, there is nothing in the world that's a more perfect expression of everything Donald Trump is than that. The town of Buffalo, South Dakota was established in 1909 and named Buffalo because the citizens there saw large herds of bison and mistakenly called them buffalo.
There is nothing more. That is the most, like, Republican American thing ever, bro.
The area's education doesn't get much better.
There's nothing, I gotta be honest, there's nothing more white than that. It's like, oh, look, it's buffalo. Actually, those are bison. Yeah, let's name this place after all those buffalo. Yeah, buffalo. That's why, for instance, the Caribbean is called the West Indies, right? Why? And we call Native Americans Indians because, like, they got here and they were like, oh, we're in India. And then after they, like, not too long after, found out, by the way, that they most certainly were not in India, they were like, yeah, but still, we already gone dead. So, we're the Indians now.
They're from there. It has a total population of 278 people, and most of those are very old white men.
Yeah.
Their median age.
I told you guys, this isn't going to last much longer. I know it's
that good.
And and it's dangerous. Hopefully, if we just need to keep this shit together for maybe another, maybe 57. What's the average age of white American male deaths? And it's going down. 78, okay. 20 more years, guys. I know. That's a long time. Nigga, I'll be 50. But 15 data. 20 more years. And we only have to wait that long because it's not going to be like an overnight thing. It's as we get closer to all of these people just going away, like, things will gradually get better. It will, guys. I promise you.
Over 57 years old. And when I say
that's really what all of, like, American culture advancement has been. It's just been the older, conservative, bigoted people just progressively over time dying off. That's really what it is. 20 years from now. And you know what else is going to be true? By 2045, I believe, white people will no longer be the majority in this country. White people will be a minority. Whoa! It's their doing. It's not us. They just stopped fucking. I don't know why. I think what it is, I have this feeling, right, that we all subconsciously, like, do things to improve the next generation. And what that oftentimes looks like is, like, from our perspective, it's like, oh, something's going wrong. But it will be remembered in the history books as things getting better. So, for instance, global warming going crazy, right? Your birth rates all over the world are falling. Less people, less global warming. And so I think a lot of white people in this country, I think a lot of white people in this country, like deep down, they're like, I don't think maybe we should just stop being in charge for a while, you know? And they're like, the best way to accomplish that, we're not going to be able to convince people, like through arguments, that that should be the case. And so let's just stop fucking. Let's just stop fucking. Let's just pump the brakes in our population, let the other guys catch up. And that's the only way, because we're not going to be able to just like change the ideology. I think that's what's honestly going on in the either consciously or subconsciously in a lot of white people. So I don't know. It's a theory. I think
most of the population is white. I mean, only 5 people in the whole town are not white. Most of the residents there work in retail, such as the one grocery store, construction, or for the government, with very low wages. When we went exploring the town, by far the nicest building was the library, which has the sheriff's office literally in the same building out the back door.
Wow.
When it comes to education, their school, which is outside the city,
I bet you that library doesn't get a lot of use.
Limits, ranks at number 50 out of 145 school districts in South Dakota. Their teachers and school lunch programs are rated high, which is good because for nearly 30% of the kids there, the school lunch program is likely their only meal of the day. Their academics, clubs, resources, administration, and even sports programs rank a bit lower. Then, of course, their diversity and college preparedness ranks terribly. I'm sure their town does not want me to mention how only 62% of their citizens are proficient in reading English, and only 52% are proficient in basic mathematics.
I don't know what it means to be proficient in reading English. Does that mean like only 62% are fucking literate? Or does it mean that like they read above a 4th grade level? Like at what point are you considered a proficient reader in English? All right, to be considered a proficient English reader, you generally need to reach an 8th grade reading level. So you're telling me that only 60% of this town above the middle school. But again, it makes sense to consider what I said earlier about surrendering to the belief ideology when you're incapable of parsing through relevant information properly, and you're aware of that.
I'm sure this is why they're so fooled by everything Trump says, because
you know, a beautiful thing happens with intelligence. The most dangerous people are a lot of people idiots. People don't know that they're not that smart, or don't realize how uneducated or dumb they are. But the people at the opposite end of the spectrum, I think they're aware. I think intelligent people, really intelligent people, are aware of where they have some level of expertise or understanding, but they're also very aware of where they don't. And dumb, like people who aren't intelligent, people who aren't educated, they're very aware that they're not educated, that they're not that smart. They know this. How do they know this? They know they can't read. You know, they struggle with words. They can't do basic algebra. And so they, I believe, understand that they don't even know how the government works. You know, so they're not getting fooled. They have no other choice, right? And then, of course, you have the midwit, the guy who thinks he knows everything about a thing, but really doesn't know much about it. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think that this town is filled with a bunch of idiots. It's probably filled with a bunch of dumb people.
In fairness to them, you would first need to know how to read before you ever check the credibility of anything Trump says. While their population is very small, they make up for it with bingo on Friday nights for seniors and 3 Christian churches, one of which is across the street from a liquor store and a bar.
Yeah.
Some local attractions you might find
That's so fucking American, dude. Yeah. Liquor store, bar, strip club, church. It's great. And then where you work, grocery store. Very American.
For the town park, a giant statue of a buffalo and a museum
Again, there weren't buffaloes. They were bisons.
dedicated to buffalo, which again were never in the town. That was bison. Their town government spends most of its money on normal things like public safety, water, and sanitation. Oh, and according to their most recent financial audit in 2024, they spent $6,000 of taxpayer money on liquor. Oh, but don't worry, as of a few months ago, one of their main agenda items at their city council meeting was talking about making sure there was air conditioning at the local bar. I'm just glad the past 2 years were spent well, Buffalo.
Wow.
I'm glad you got your priorities
That's
straight.
great.
If you ever go to Buffalo,
That's great. Imagine them coming together, like in a city hall, to talk about what are the things that you want us to embrace in a political way, right? What do you want us to do for you? And so guys, like, that bar gets really fucking hot, dude. That bar gets really fucking hot. Can we get some air conditioning there? You want us to spend your tax money on AC in the bar?
Whoever they are, they don't look friendly.
Hey, that's good.
of Ski Motel, but their official city website says one is in Oklahoma and the other is in Buffalo, New York. I'm just guessing someone in the city office was too drunk making their city website to realize they're advertising for people to go stay at a hotel 1,500 miles away in New York. And that town of Buffalo, New York is where we suggest you actually visit instead of this one in South Dakota. Otherwise, you might end up like this woman who we found roaming the dirt roads alone in a wheelchair, staring off into the abyss that is South Dakota.
I want you to understand, this is the heart and soul of MAGA. These are people that are aware that things are fucked, dude. Like, shit is just fucked, just in general. When this is your life, this is so depressing. Hey, so that's the most MAGA town in the country. Are you gonna take a trip? I'm not. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below.
The web of life and destiny is fragile. Someone has to protect it.
Black people, let's just be honest. The blackest thing you could do,
There you go. He telling us how to be black.
I'm doing all right in here. They got me locked up by myself. I just wanted to tell everybody that
You gotta be kidding me.
brings me to tears to see all the support that I'm getting.
You still ain't subscribed. He just raised $200,000, and you can't even hit the subscribe button. That's the thing. This is why we can't get nowhere. This is why these people feel like they could do this. I say, Chud the Builder and Drake are the same people. Chud the Builder got this guy doing the commercials as if he's fighting against some system, asking us for help. Like he's fighting the same thing what Drake doing. Yeah, I'm going against the labels and I'm fighting for the people. No. Y'all not gonna believe this. And he asking us for help. Chud the Builder is asking us for help.
Chud has reached new levels of desperation and audacity I've never seen before. Chud is speaking out from jail. They announced that he can't access any of the money that he raised on the Give Say Go because he was logged into the Give Say Go on the phone that's currently confiscated by the police department. So he can't verify that he has access to the funds to be able to withdraw. So now, the new strategy...
I thought they cut that GoFundMe money off. I didn't even know they was about to allow him to get it. Even if he did have access to his phone, this is insinuated that they wouldn't let him get it.
Is Mo begging. Okay, now we're going to get into how ridiculous the begging has gotten. But before we get there, they dropped a commercial, right, to get people to, I guess, feel sorry for Chud. And they spoke to the black community for about 70% of this video. And these people got the audacity to try to rope us into Chud silliness. to try to make us feel bad for Chud and ask us to stand with Chud in these times. Are y'all stupid?
So much for sharing all the information we're putting out at Operation Free Dalton. It's crucial we get this out as soon as possible, as far and wide as we can, because we have to hold these officials accountable.
AKA, we're going up against a system. We have to hold these people accountable. Despite everything Chud the Builder said about us, it wasn't even about that. He's not doing it to us. He's really fighting for us. He's fighting for us. Who does this sound like, my ninja? Who does this sound like? I'm not fighting against hip-hop. I'm fighting for hip-hop. I'm fighting for all these young artists and stuff. Drake, same thing, bro.
For the win figures and the discrepancies between bond amounts given to people with multiple fires, murders. It's unspeakable, some of the things these people have done, versus Dalton's unprecedented $1.25 million bond. The DA, Robert Nash, wanted to give him no bond. But the sitting DA gave individuals who committed multiple murders, fires, bonds less than $100,000. A lot of people think this is attacking white people, freedom of speech, and then, kid gloves for the crimes black people commit. But what we have to understand is, in the black community, listen when I say this.
I don't know who this dweeb that Chud has.
Hold up. Do y'all know why they think they could just come at us like this? Like, out of all people, why do people feel like they could try us? Why do people feel like they could get over on us like this? Because throughout history, we've been passive, and we're the most forgiving people on this earth. This goes to show you, oh yeah, we could just get over on them. All we do is I come out with a little commercial, little video, I had something set up, little camera and all of that, and they feel like we're gonna go for it. If you even think about sending Chud the Builder some
roped him to being his own personal liaison while he's in prison. But this dude is also a suspected white supremacist. He lacks charisma. Of course. He lacks intelligence. He's pretty dumb, to be honest. Now, you want for the black community to listen up. Y'all close your ears. I'm going to do all the listening for us, all right? And let y'all know if this is something we need to consider. Right? But they are effectively about to try to make the black community get on board with going against the police on behalf of
I do it. He was sent. Did I just hear what he said? This let me know that Chud was sent. What he's about to say is that their ultimate goal. Black people, come help us fight. Come help. No, we gonna mind our business. Welcome to the party, what we've been dealing with for hundreds of years. We ain't fighting no damn battles for nobody.
But not because, right, we like Chud according to them, but because we should stand against the police. Man, listen, man, if y'all think that we is that stupid, if y'all think y'all can say F the police and get us on board to help out Chud's cause, you're out of your mind. You are losing your effing mind. Black people, the overwhelming majority of us, want Chud to spend the rest of his life in prison. And we don't care how it happens. We the wrong demographic to be speaking to, brother. It ain't right.
When they give these low bonds to the people in your communities.
All that slavery.
Oh, hell no. I see why he said he's going to do the listening. I see why, because I'm about to take these damn headphones off. I can't do it. He said your community. Now we're included. Now you're going to include us. Now, oh, hell no.
Virtue. That's a weapon. As much as this high bond is a weapon against Dalton and free speech, letting these criminals go for next to nothing, knowing they're gonna you know, your friends and family at some point. These people are the problem.
No, you're the damn problem. And y'all know what else is the problem? Exhibit A. Exhibit A. This is the problem. This is why they set this up in damn near almost every black community. And your grandmother probably got this on her wall. This is why. This is why they rush across the whole earth to set this image of Caesar Borgia everywhere. It's because when this guy speaks, you automatically think that it's this guy. This is why they set this guy up across the world. They rush. This is why. And this is why this guy feel like he could get over on us. But I'm telling you right now, boy, this is not the 20s, boy. This is not the 30s. We do not believe in you. You, matter of fact, I can't even say I don't believe you need more people. I don't give a damn who you got. We do not believe you. This is 2026. And look, Dr. Umar Johnson would say, our black brothers and sisters are about to start linking up together. We are not going for your foolishness no more. I digress.
Dalton was exposing that. He found himself in the middle. And before I play the audio of Dalton,
The web of life and destiny is fragile.
I just want to let you know that Dalton's not, like, he's just a...
I can't. Do y'all see how he tried to do his sad puppy eyes? Because of Dalton. And your community. Dalton. It's the free Dalton. Dalton. This is what they do. This is how they trick us. This is Satan. This is Satan at its best.
Dude, he's a contractor. He got canceled of this work. You know, he took the word that ruined his life and found himself not being able to have a job. I mean, the cancel efforts to get him fired and to not get him work when he started his own business, a lot of people put a lot of effort into that.
Yep, and we're going to keep on doing.
Black people, let's just be honest.
You know what to do, spiders?
The blackest thing you could do if you had your life ruined over talking shit to a white.
There you go. He telling us how to be black. He telling us how to be. No, this is how you really be black. No, you even though you're black, you don't know how to be black until I tell you how to. Let's go back to it. Let's go back. This is the guy. This is the guy.
White guy. Blackest thing you could do is walk around and call everyone. You get paid for it. That was the spirits of the civil rights movement.
Chud is currently in prison suffering, so I guess they want you to also suffer, right, by playing with your emotions and pissing you off and getting you angry. Because I refuse to believe any human being is this stupid, right? So don't get mad at it. Laugh at this, right? Laugh at this. Know that Chud right now is in prison with no commissary, no food whatsoever, all right? And he's eating oatmeal and dry bread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? In solitary confinement.
You giving him too much food. No.
Just bread and water.
No, sunflower seed shells. The regurgitated joints.
Damn.
Have
this nigga said that already chewed sunflower seeds. Damn.
Your boy gonna stuff it. He's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison properly. Right? He's gonna spend the rest of his life as an absolute pariah. It's over with for you guys.
Get that man bread and
we
water.
We don't even got to respond, rebuttal, right? Rebuke those remarks that the civil rights movement was all about people like Chud going around and having a right to call black folks the N-word to their faces, and when they get upset, he faces them in the eye. We don't even need to respond or rebuttal that. We know it's nonsense. Whoever this spokesperson is, he's terrible at his job, and he's probably dumber than Chud. But other people, right, who apparently have stuck up for Chud, they have somehow conveyed this message a little better than him. The message here is, hey, black people, we can't trust the police. We can't trust the government. The government is corrupt. We now acknowledge how they do you. Are you guys really going to be on the side of the government as they do this to Chud? Do y'all think a $1.25 million bond is
And throughout history, this is how their women got a lot of our sisters to turn their back on us. This, I'm telling you, everything is strategic. This is why I push. Our people need to get together and really point the devil out.
Fair. And we think it's fair. Yeah, we think it's fair. Okay, yeah, we think it's 100% fair. Okay, when Chud was out here advocating for black people to be sent back to Africa, when he's out here advocating for black people not to be able to live in civilized society with white people, what, like, you think that Chud would be out here advocating for justice and equality for black people? You think Chud would be out here advocating for the justice system doing a black man wrong? Chud wouldn't give a damn. So no, you can't rope in like our struggles with the justice system into this Chud situation. Chud is somebody who despises black people, he hates black people, and his hatred for black people got him in this situation. So he got in line here. Do his time, all right? What you crying for? You wanted to be a representative and a martyr for white folks, right? Everybody wants to be a martyr. Nobody wants to die. I don't get it. You got to.
And if anybody watching, they just got a little forgiving bone in their body. You need to go call up your cousin that you ain't forgiven 10, 20 years. You need to go call up your aunt and your uncle you ain't forgiven. Your mother, your father, you ain't forgiven 10, 20 years. You still holding that grudge.
Reap the consequences if you want to be a martyr. Now, your consequences is you gotta rot in prison. Do that time. Do it and shut up. Now, Chud asked this dude to deliver a message. Now, Chud's first message from prison, he hasn't learned a goddamn thing. He hasn't learned a single thing from prison, but he's still playing the...
That's because it's instilled in them. That's why he ain't gonna learn nothing. The only thing they could do is try to hide it. It's a perpetual hatred. It's what God tells us. They have a perpetual hatred. It's instilled. It's embedded in them.
Victim. He's still crying and whining. He's still lying and pretending like he did nothing wrong.
And he was just starting to earn respect and build bridges between the black community, who understood that he wasn't doing it out of hostility or that he hated black people. That wasn't the issue.
No, they was trying to condition us to accept his rhetoric. Then they gonna step it up. Hey, let me smack you in the head. Ah, this is freedom of touching. Smack him in the head. Then they go. That's how they do. They will start stepping it up more and more. Start to level up the disrespect. Then next thing you know, we're gonna be back in slavery.
You saw how he lit up when he would ask people who believe in free speech, and he dropped a.
Yeah, I'll be real, yo. The ridiculousness of this is somehow humorous, bro. It's funny, man. Chud was building bridges with who? With who, may I ask, was Chud building a bridge with? These people are shameless. They got no shame face. All right? These are the people we're dealing with. So you gotta be equally as shameless as these.
They got me locked up by myself. Just wanted to tell everybody that it brings me to tears to see all the support that I'm getting, to hear everybody that's trying to help me out, and
all the support getting, and you still ain't subscribed to the channel. You still ain't subscribed. Oh, he just raised $200,000, and you can't even hit the subscribe button. That's the thing. This is why we can't get nowhere. This is why these people feel like they could do this.
Man, I love all of you guys, and I'm sorry that this bullshit is going on, but truth always comes to light. The Lord is with me in here. They can never take him from me. Thank you guys for all your support. It genuinely means the world. I don't even know what to think. I just want to get out of here so that I can see the light of day, hold my son, hold my girl, see my family again. Thank you, everybody who sent any money. So I got to get out of here so that we can do something, so we can fight this. Listen, install. You can get me out, help with the bond. I cannot access my funds until I get out of here because no one has access to any of my Gibson Go or my crypto wallets, etc. I have to get out of here so that I can get verification processes to get into all of these funds. I will fight for free. If you could help me out, post bail, I will fight for free. We'll do whatever it is you want to do, bro.
Y'all know who he reaching out to? He reaching out to Aiden Ross. Remember, Aiden Ross was setting up a fight between Chud the Builder and Chibu. Now he's saying, I'll fight for free if you can get me out.
I need somebody with big money who can throw down, who can support me.
Unfortunately, and this is how they're going to do it. If this follow through, Aiden Ross get him out. Chibu beat him up in the ring. And all the black people get happy. Yeah, he finally got beat up. And that's when they think that we going to forgive him. Then they going to put some money behind us. Then they going to have him on Mr. Beast level. Tell you, I know how this shit pan out, man.
Actually, for Chud, if he's waiting on Aiden Ross to bail him out, he's going to be in jail for a very long time. Now, Aiden Ross has done some horrible things. Like, Aiden Ross gave, like, Gypsy Crusader almost $100,000 to fight. You know, and the only thing Gypsy Crusader has ever done is do, like, live streams disparaging black people. So, Aiden Ross is also a despicable human being as well.
Yeah.
But even Aiden Ross is not just despicable, right? Because Aiden Ross actually responded back to fans asking him,
that's what they want you to think. Yes, he's as despicable.
To bail out Chud, and here's what he had to say.
All right. Yeah, bro, listen. I'm going to just tell you this, bro. Like, hell yeah. I already said my take on him. I already said what I said about him, bro. I really would, like, prefer not to get into, like, dumb, hateful night. It's a really special night for Drake and from us, all the fans. So let's just not even talk about this. Send me, bro. Wait, bro. Hey, can you bet on Chud, the Chud guy? What's his name again? Joe. Holy shit. So he is on here. Can you pay his bail? Imagine the clips, dude. No. Absolutely. What the?
They're getting so desperate, new levels of desperation. They're now asking a black man in Tristan Tate to pay Chud's bond. So they go, Bill on Chud. Tristan Tate goes, I actually am not such a fan of his. I was asked to bill him out, and it was only 1.2 million. So I looked into his content. No. If you provoke a man, be ready for a fist fight. That's the law I live by. $0 donated. Now, Jake Shield, who is this like 63 IQ, like inbred, just disgusting human being, he writes and he says, I initially had the same dude. No, you didn't, Jake Shield. Jake Shield, you and Chud are the same person, Jake. Cut it out. But after looking into the case, I saw the guy wasn't actually provoked. I watched videos and saw that Chud wasn't what they claimed he was. I'm sure you can relate to the chat. Hold on. Jake Shield says, after looking into the case, I saw the guy that Chud shot wasn't actually provoked. What case did you look into that you figure out a guy wasn't provoked? Because from everything we've gathered, from the police report, from the police, from the charges,
and from history,
they're saying Chud is who instigated this conflict. Chud had his hand on his gun, brandishing his gun while calling a dude the N-word before any altercation even took place. So what exactly? He goes and he says, I watched videos and saw that Chud wasn't what they claimed he was. I'm sure you can relate to that. Tristan Tate says, can you send him over? You'll be waiting all day.
Yeah, so now all the Chud the Builders fans are begging to try to get him out of jail. Listen, I hope it ain't nobody in here that's even thinking about supporting that. Charlie. Y'all please subscribe to the channel. Hype me up. Make sure you like. Big kick.
Hello, it's so good to be on the other side of Adobe Live. Usually behind the scenes, making sure everything's good. Adobe Firefly has a new...
I made a video
criticizing Jerusalem Day in Israel and talking about the shooting at the Islamic Center in San Diego. And in the middle of filming, the stream was shut down and my video was instantly deleted. And I would just like to say, I know what you are. I know what you're doing. I know you're trying to suppress dissidents of your apartheid genocidal regime. I know you control the YouTube airwaves. I know you control everything. But no, honestly and truthfully, that is the only time that has ever happened to me. In the middle of a stream fucking terminated. Mossad said, you can't cover that. You can't watch videos of Israeli settlers beating the shit out of Christians and Muslims. You can't watch videos of them throwing bottles of piss at innocent Muslim children. You can't watch the video of the little blonde girl from Texas living in Jerusalem saying that all Muslims are a cancer and they need to be removed. You can't watch the video of a BBC reporter asking what should happen to the Palestinians and she says, leave or we'll kill you all. You can't cover that. No, that's anti-Semitic.
30 seconds.
Any and all criticism of the nation state of Israel is actually anti-Semitism. Just like Bill Maher fucking says. That's what we're going to be watching instead. We're going to be watching Bill Maher, the so-called centrist Democrat, who is actually just a little bitch boy on his hands and knees licking the orange crunchy taint of Donald Trump and praising the Zionist dogmen of Israel. We're going to listen to him give you some new rules, or as he's probably going to call it, Jew rules. Because he even says at some point, he goes, no Jews, no Jews, and that any criticism of Israel is actually anti-Semitism. So we're going to watch this shit instead of the more important stuff which I was covering earlier that was terminated because Mossad controlled the airwaves. But let's watch real quick. Get a look at this shit. Let's play it from the top.
Yesterday was Israel's birthday, having become a nation on May 14th, 78 years ago. Everyone must either
the saddest day in human history, by the way,
wish her a happy birthday or admit they're anti-Semitic.
He's not being sarcastic, by the way. He's like, no, if you do not wish Israel a happy birthday, you are anti-Semitic. He's not joking, and he's going to make it abundantly clear that he's not joking. And by the way, his fucking takes are so bad that his own audience is not cheering for him.
Now, it's everyone's right in a free country to be anti-Semitic, but enough with hiding behind Israel or Zionism or Netanyahu. It is going that so many do know that when it comes to human rights, Israel is the monster country of all time. You don't read, or you don't care about your own society. Because there are so many worse places.
Oh, really? Can you name another nation that has committed like multiple genocides simultaneously and is using the Israeli lobbies to control the United States of America and has dragged the United States of America into an illegal and offensive war of aggression in Iran while the Israelis committed genocide in Gaza and they have settler colonialists just raping their way to the West Bank and they continue to illegally bomb Lebanon and they continue to illegally bomb Yemen? Can you explain any of that also while they hold on to nuclear ambiguity and they are the only nation on planet Earth that has refused to admit whether or not they have nuclear weapons? Can you explain that to me, Bill Maher?
But that's where we are these days. No Jews, no news. But China, Russia, the Sudan, Iran, Myanmar, Haiti, Congo.
He said Myanmar. The nation is called Myanmar, you stupid fucker.
North Korea, and that's how you know it's anti-Semitism. It's the inconsistency.
Did you just say North Korea is way worse? I'm sorry, what genocide did North Korea commit? When did North Korea kill somewhere between 40 and 70,000 little babies? Oh, I'm sorry, when did North Korea threaten to nuke their fucking neighbors every single week? When did North Korea commit a genocide that killed between 500 and 600,000 innocent civilians? Did you please explain that away? Also, one other thing. Where's the North Korea lobby? Where, like, the overwhelming majority of American politicians are beholden to North Korea's policies instead of American policies. Could you explain that to me?
People talk about Jews these days like something out of Stormfront.
No, they talk about Zionists, sort of as if they're Nazis, because the Zionists act exactly like the Nazis.
It's not Stormfront. It's an editor from the American Prospect, which is a venerable liberal publication that wants the careers of journalists like Edward Klein. And yet no one blinks when one of their editors says, Israel is a brainwashed, psychopathic death cult that might need to be leaked to save the human race.
Based. True. Factually correct statement. Yes.
People say the left and the right can't agree on anything these days. Well, there's just one thing they agree on.
Yes, fuck Zionism and fuck genocide. Yeah, that's what we agree on. What are you going to say?
Right-winger Tucker Carlson has Nick Valenti, the Holocaust deniers, on his podcast, and wonders along with them, the bad guy in World War II.
You see, I don't think people understand how dangerous this rhetoric is. By claiming that criticism of Zionism is akin to Nazi ideology, what you're saying is you don't hate Zionism, you hate Jews. And people like myself, a very small group of people, are capable of fighting back against that and going, no, the elite attach the religion of Judaism to the genocidal apartheid ideals of Zionism in order to be able to point to any criticism and go, no, you're anti-Semitic. The overwhelming majority of people, if you keep on telling them, you hate Jews, you hate Jews, you hate Jews, and they have videos of Zionist genocide going on, they're dumb. Those people will eventually go, okay, I guess I hate Jews then. You are creating the very monster that you are trying to kill. And in reality, I just believe that you are not trying to stop anti-Semitism. I believe that Zionists, such as yourself, Bill Maher, and Bibi Netanyahu, they love the rise of anti-Semitism because it gives you more validity. You can point at that and go,
but don't you see? This is why we need the Jewish ethno-state of Israel. We need to have our own ethno-state with our nuclear ambiguity because of the danger that Jews are living under.
That you are going to create more Jew hatred because, like Alex Jones said, the Israelis will do psychopathic genocidal behavior and then put the label of the word Jew on everything. Jew, 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 Jew. That is what Alex Jones is talking about, and he is factually correct. That by labeling everything the Israelis do as Jewish, you are creating more anti-Semitism when in reality, all they're trying to do, these people, is criticize these Zionists. Jesus Christ.
And the New York Times has on their podcast super leftist Hassan Piker, who they call a progressive mind, who says Zionists should be treated the same as Nazis, which I assume means hung at Nuremberg.
Correct.
That's what progressive is now?
Yes.
I guess so. The kids are sure into it. They went nuts last year at Coachella for Newcat. That's the name of an Irish rap group. As if Ireland hasn't suffered enough.
You know what to do, Spider. Time for some fireworks. 3, 2, 1.
Their stage set. It's a sign that says Israel. And then they send a beach all around the place.
How is that funny? How is that funny? And also the please corn. Brother, you are so fucking washed, it's embarrassing.
Because again, Israel is the only country in the world doing anything bad.
No one said that.
The meathead manosphere and the Code Pink people are on the same page. Because they both went to high school in America and they don't know anything.
You think that Solo became anti-Zionist because of high school? Motherfucker, American high school does everything they possibly can to make the young Americans support the nation of Israel. They do not teach us anything about the Nakba. They barely even teach us about the fucking Vietnam War. You expect them to be teaching us about the cruelty of Zionism? Get the fuck out of my face, you piece of shit. You know, for a guy who claims to be atheist, despite the fact that Bill Maher is actually Jewish, for a guy who claims to be atheist, he really does have undying loyalty to the nation state of Israel. I wonder if they're, lining his pockets with shekels the same way that they line every American politician.
So we really could someday soon have the tiki torch, Jews will not replace us crowd. And the Queers for Palestine people working together to elect the next day.
Well, no, then what will happen if people like you keep on spewing the dog shit that comes out of your fucking cock holster, bro? When you keep on claiming that any and all criticism of Zionism is akin to Nazism, then you are going to end up merging together the Nazis with the people who are pro-humanity and fighting for the rights of the Palestinians who are being fucking persecuted.
There's a North Carolina teenager who's been charged with plotting to drive through a city to fulfill the life's goal of killing as many Jews as possible.
Brother, there was literally a fucking mass shooting at the Islamic Center in San Diego yesterday, bro, where these two fucking teenagers killed a security guard who was a father of 8, and then went inside and killed 2 more Muslims, and then got in their cars and killed themselves, okay? What the fuck are you talking about? The rate of, like, Jewish violence violence against Jewish people has gone down over the few decades that we have seen this shit. Versus Islamophobia has been skyrocketing because of dumb motherfuckers like you.
The kids gotta have a drink. I'm just asking why in the world is this be the dream of some kid in North Carolina? Why is it the dream of Dan Bilzerian, who's running as a Republican to win a House seat in Florida? Who's Dan Bilzerian? Well, he's a professional douchebag who's...
See what I'm saying, guys? They're tying Nazis like Dan Bilzerian and Nick Fuentes to the Free Palestine crowd. This is so blatantly fucking bullshit.
Attracted 30 million followers by doing this all day in posting. Yes, he'll fit in fine with the current Congress.
You've got me back. I've got yours.
And Dan is fairly typical of the guys in the manosphere when he says, the only real battle in the world today that I see worth fighting is fucking, exterminating Israel. I mean, I would sign up tomorrow to go fucking put boots on the ground and go fucking kill Israelis.
Base.
Why? Why is this asshole's life about 2 things? Getting more Viagra and exterminating the Jews.
Dude, he said Israeli. Why the... Guys, we can't keep doing this fucking song and dance. We can't keep doing this porn show, bro. You are seeing it with your own eyes. We're talking about Israel, we're talking about Zionism, and then this motherfucker goes, you're telling me that Alex Schlossberg living in fucking Brooklyn, that he is to blame for Israel's actions? Is that what the fuck you're saying? Is that the ethno-state of Israel represents the actions of Alex Schlossberg in fucking Brooklyn? Is that what you're claiming?
Israel was founded on the idea that anti-Semitism made a Jewish state unnecessary. Because
slip of the tongue there.
Jews would never be safe without one. Can you honestly listen to this rhetoric and not see why that turned out to be true? If you don't have the right-wingers on your side, if you don't have the progressives, what do you have?
Nothing at all. That's why the Israelis are panicking.
What's more progressive than college? Your professors now say things that would make Kanye.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude? No laughs from his fucking loyal crowd.
Tony Gargi, all Zionist bloodthirsty animals.
They are.
He, the leader of ISIS? No, he's a professor.
Zionists are literally bloodthirsty criminals. They are bloodthirsty animals. This is correct to analyze. This is analyzing the situation properly and correctly.
Here in California, at UC and Candace Owens agrees with his assessment of Jews as animals, because she says wherever they go, they bring their filth with them.
See what I'm saying? They're bringing in actual virulent anti-Semites like fucking Candace Owens and conflating them to Hassan Piker, conflating them to Free Palestine rallies.
Another professor, Hamid Dabashi, says of Israel, they have a vulgarity of character that is bone deep and structural to the skeletal vertebrae of its culture.
Very well put.
These are the kind of statements Goebbels would have read and said, no.
Brother, Goebbels was talking about the religion of Judaism. These people are talking about the culture of Israel. They are 2 different fucking things. I can't keep saying it over and over.
I mean, where are the Jewish space lasers when you need them?
Brother, you don't want me to go down that rabbit hole because I will immediately prove to you that the Israelis literally have fucking space lasers. But oh my god.
You know, there are absolutely horrible things killed by Muslims, too. That should also be, of course, roundly condemned.
Brother, you say horrible things about Muslims. You say that shit.
Republican Congressman Randy Fine saying, if they force us to choose, the choice between dogs and Muslims is not a difficult one. That's awful. But it's not the same as they need to be
Gaza! God! Randy Fine says Gaza. Oh my fucking God. Yes, U.S. Congressman Randy Fine made controversial comments suggesting that Gaza should be nuked. Oh my God, dude. He said, arguing that the U.S. forced Japan's unconditional surrender by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He stated that the same approach should be applied to Gaza. Oh my God!
and let's exterminate them.
You no research?
That's why Jewish people here and in Europe now say they sometimes hide their identity, afraid that the Star of David will get them attacked, as has happened in almost too many places.
Yeah, maybe because the Israelis have labeled their entire culture as representing the religion of Judaism, and their fucking nation flag has the Star of David on it. They are shooting all Jews in the foot while they try to expand their colonial violence.
Your Star of David at home. What's it, a fire? The Americans sit around the roof and you'll get applause. You don't think it isn't just acceptable now, it's cool. Oh my God. Please love it and make it trendy. It's the new shades of the future. Islamophobia is just as bad argument. It's simply a false equivalency. You were a professor who talked about Muslims the way they get talked about?
Yes, every single Jewish professor in Israel. Now, the entire government of Israel, the overwhelming majority of the Israeli population. Motherfucker, I just watched a video of like an 8-year-old girl in Jerusalem on Jerusalem Day saying that Islam is a cancer and it must be eradicated. And when it saw what to do with the Palestinians in the area, she said, leave or we'll kill you all. I'm making that video, I'm making it live, my entire live stream gets shut down and the video gets deleted. That just happened less than a fucking hour ago. Motherfucker, we see you. We know who you are. We know what you are.
Anti-Jewish crimes, hate crimes, now outtake anti-Muslim hate crimes.
This is the ADL. The ADL is labeled in all criticism of Israel as anti-Semitism. This is a bullshit petition.
It's not a contest, and I'm certainly not saying you one or the other. I'm just saying these are the numbers, the facts. There is a frothing anxious for the literal extermination of this one group. And Democrats, yeah, are you. They're not the minority group is being talked about this way. We break out the contact clause and have some benefit on it. Because you see that so many of those were so unfunny, unwatched by TikTok constituents now have an unfavorable view of it.
Oh, that's because of TikTok? Not because of the live stream genocide. Oh, okay.
Don't think. Then you should be correcting me. You don't tell your woke idiots Israel isn't a colonizer or an apartheid state. They are using genocide. They are. And if you brats have to spend a week anywhere in the Middle East other than Israel, you will understand that liberalism is not.
Dude, some dumbass, window-looking, profligate chatter just said, Chris, you know, Islam is also a far-right ideology. I can't, bro. You're a fucking moron. It's an entire religion with over 1 billion fucking people. There are far-right extremists in every religion, you stupid fuck. The fact that you think the entire religion of Islam is a far-right ideology, you can't be saved. You're genuinely too fucking stupid to be saved. Oh my God.
All the people likely running for president now on the Democratic side want it known. They don't take money from AIPAC, the Israeli lobby. Instead, with good permission to actual anti-Semites to say, they We're right about Israel. That's security money from a security country. It is, absolutely. We take money from crypto and factory farmers.
All of those are bad. All so fucking bad. Israel seems to be the only foreign lobby that does not have to register as a fucking foreign lobby. And you'll be on tax to say that is not unique to Israel.
Getting Weinstein and Epstein, but AIPAC is people?
Yes.
Let me just say this to all who ask me. Why are you harder on the Democrats than you used to be? Until you fix this whole issue, stop asking me.
What fucking swine piece of shit. What a fucking swine ball piece of shit. I wish that I could post that other video that I fucking filmed, but seemingly that's not allowed on this goddamn platform. You can't criticize Israel on this fucking platform, apparently. We'll see how long this channel even lasts. Anyway, if you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much. If you're watching this live, please stay. You got to make a thumbnail, get that video posted. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Costing nothing, helps me immensely. And do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger. I know, banger.
We will preserve the Webmaster Weaver. I promise.
You ever seen a man's soul leave his body? You have now. So, about 5 months ago, decided, let's take a peek into this whole cup phone thing, because they're long overdue on delivering this golden phone that'll reinvent my understanding of what it means to deliver a phone call, and, I don't know, ask Brock to put me in a bikini on my mobile device. And, well, that started a bit of a snowball effect. It got really wrapped up in the whirlwind of trying to get my hands on this fucking mythical device. I thought I had better odds of finding a real-life Dragon Ball than a T1 device. Anyway, I don't need to regurgitate the lore for how we got here. Point is, there's been a new development, a huge disaster, and I mean this, doesn't mean I'm not being exaggerated. What's unfolded is a complete fucking catastrophe. There is a massive security problem with TrumpMobile.com that has led to thousands of customers getting a big cock in their mouth.
I'm making this video to let you know that TrumpMobile.com is leaking customer information.
No, baby.
And I know that because
stop bullshit.
I am one of those customers whose mailing address, email address, everything short of credit card number is being leaked via a security exploit that I'm not going to go into too much detail to explain, but it's not complicated.
Yeah, being a proud customer of Trump Mobile here, trying to get my paws from the T1 device. Hey, put me on the hook here of this security vulnerability. I sent me an email as well as talking to other customers.
Just gonna keep going until you are annoying.
They discovered on.
Hey, now you know you're annoying. Now stop.
Allowed them to access every piece of customer information except credit card number. That seems to be like the only thing that they weren't able to look at there, but everything else was just right out there frolicking, and they were able to look at it and were able to prove that this wasn't some hoax, that they actually did have this big security breach that they were able to get all this information from. Basically, they have the whole kit and caboodle of everything from mobile. They got them by the titties. They're on the honkers. And they were able to provide a lot of information about it, as well as divulging the method, which I had a copy going on myself to get into, but it is a big whoopsie-daisy that needs fixing. So CoffeeZilla and myself, as well as the individual, have reached out to Trump Mobile in every possible avenue we could find to put this on the radar for them to fix it, because this is a huge issue. All of us have been met with radio silence. This individual does not appear to be some kind of malicious bad actor trying to use this for some kind of nefarious purposes. This is someone that has actively been trying to get it fixed, and then when he's been met with nothing but crickets from Trump Mobile as well as a couple of other outlets that he reached out to, that's when he reached out to myself, CoffeeZilla, and multiple other people as well that were customers here, victims of this security flaw. So since no one from the official Trump Mobile team is receptive to this kind of alert, what else is there to do besides just make this video, CoffeeZilla's video, publicly talking about it, so that way maybe they can, see it and fix it, because this is a huge problem. And
this should hopefully dissuade other people from purchasing a Trump mobile device because it is not safe to do so right now. It is actually dangerous. It has a huge security issue.
I mean, exactly how it works was explained to me. I'm not a computer expert, but even I can understand the mechanics of it, meaning it's very low-hanging fruit. Basically, this past weekend, I was reached out to among many other people who have Trump mobile accounts to let us know that our identification was being served up. This was by somebody who said they had no interest in doxing me, but they just wanted to let me know that this was happening. This person had my order information, my mailing address. They had other people's information as well that they shared with me just to prove it was real. Of course, blurring out the actual address data. From what I can tell, the person who contacted me, they're just interested in getting this fixed. They contacted the Trump mobile team. They didn't respond.
Bro, I fucking swear the Trump mobile, the one device is like the mummy's purse. It brings nothing but misery and plague. Like, everything Trump touches is literally the cheese touch. Holy fuck, man. I bought the phone as a joke just to see A, if it would ever actually come out, and B, if it does release, if it's any good whatsoever, like what actually even gets served to me. And as a result, now I get butt fucked. This is the President of the United States, man. Just the concept of this would be something that people would insult and critique if they saw it in some kind of like satirical context in like a show or a movie. Because it's so over the top stupid. The fucking president of this country has a company, and it's had many companies that are complete fucking shams. But this one in particular is not only extremely shady and unable to deliver anything that it has been hyping up and taking orders for so long, but also has a security flaw that is actually disastrous for the customers. It's just unthinkable. So you can't trust your information with the president, something that is backed by the president of the United States of America. Like, I knew this whole thing was a bunch of barnacles, like everything with the T1, just another one of Trump's endless money-grabbing ploys, like the Trump Bible and all that. But I was never expecting it to be this much of an absurd.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even pretend I know what that meant.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Galline leading by 15 points there. Also significantly, we just got some more votes here out of Oldham County. Remember what we said about Oldham here? It's the wealthiest county in Kentucky, has a lot of those voters, professional class, college-educated voters, suburbs of Louisville. And you can see here that the update, if you remember earlier, it was a wider margin with the initial vote out of here. So what makes sense, Massey's done better here. Massey needs to be winning Oldham County. If he's going to have a chance tonight, he needs to win Oldham. He needs to win next door here in Shelby County, and he's got to come up with a win. Up here, he's got to win the election day vote up here in the Cincinnati suburbs, because elsewhere, what we've seen come in, we've seen some new votes come in. These are small rural counties here. Again, everything is kind of going in small rural counties. You think of them as pro-Trump, and they've been delivering for Trump candidates tonight. There's one exception right here. This is a very small county, but Mason County, it appears that Massey's won by a little bit less than 2 points. One thing to keep in mind is geography is a factor here. Before he was a congressman, Massey was a county elected official right here in Lewis County. Right next door in small Mason County, he eked out a victory there. Tonight, I think we just got some vote here, too, in Harrison County. So, it's starting to come. But as you can see here, it's still a 12-point advantage for Galline. We've not seen Massey deliver in a place tonight yet, so he really needs to deliver.
And Galline seems to be outperforming almost in all of the districts this season so far, with the exception of the small districts.
Yeah, and the question mark here in Oldham County, just because, Massey did a little bit better with that update. But again, Massey needs to be winning there, not coming close.
Well, we're happy all night, and if people want to lift that big gift, that's the front happy fan message, GoPro right there, which is very exciting, as we're showing you is all this is happening. Can you also walk us through what we're seeing in Georgia?
Stop! The fucking bullshit, Julia! Stop!
We got plenty of time for that.
So again, you were starting to say the fact that you both places on the side with the 72. And on the Republican side, 7% statewide. I can talk, nigga. Republican Mike Collins right now clearly leading the initial vote count.
Buddy Carter right now in second over Derek Cooney. But this portion of the state that you see that maroon color, that's Carter's number. You know, this is his congressional district. So right now, that's delivering some, just a little bit of a punch for him right there. Again, take a look here, Neil.
What? I haven't moved. So how much? Yeah, you better shut up.
The Atlanta Metro area really don't have much in yet. And Judah has some Cherokee fans expecting to get it. Cherokee is one of the biggest Republican pluralities in town.
Whatever, I move. We don't have nowhere to move to.
We only have 2% of the vote in there. Cherokee really launched them when we get more vote right there. Really need to be getting 33%.
That's why you don't move.
On the Republican side,
whatever, I move nothing, so he don't get up.
2%, a 7% statewide here, and you see Berkeley.
When it's time, there's nothing to take them to far. What is that, 5 minutes? What is it to anybody? 10 minutes at the most?
What you also see is a gigantic gap there. That's the first place for the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. Remembering here that this is a 50% trade. They go to a runoff here. I think one thing that's interesting that we've been seeing in the results here. What did we just get? What's that? Oh, and we just got, I just was told we just got more boom. This is the story of the moment. So we just got more Boone County, and I wanted to show you what we got. Also, look at this. When you see the Boone County here at the score, this just came in a gigantic factor vote here. And Ed Galline now is 20-point advantage. It's just about all the vote counted in Boone County. You can see how that just jumped up. It almost doubled the amount of votes in the district. Galline gets that in right now. Still with a 10-point advantage. This is very significant what just happened this weekend.
I'm so sure that Steve Shorten and Matthew Campaign headquarters, we're going to get a box check, I think, in a couple minutes. Steve, I know you're going to be watching that coming in. Just also know that as we speak right now, President Trump is speaking. He's in a separate event. He's not talking politics yet, but he's taking a live look now. Here's the president speaking now. We're told right now he's talking about the war against Iran, etc. But I mentioned this because he leans large over so much of what is happening tonight in the Republican primaries, including how Steve just laid out with this Kentucky caucus.
Well, he has endorsed 3 dozen candidates. There is no difference in the races that we're watching so closely. And to unpack further, we're really excited about it. Former Florida House Democrat Sal Demings and former Speaker of the House and Republican leader Kevin McCarthy. Thanks so much to both of you for being here. It is really significant. Speaker McCarthy, I have to start with you because of what we are talking about. President Trump being so large over what we are seeing, your reaction so far to the lead that Ed Galline has opened up. Again, no politics in this, but he's clearly so far.
That's a very good lead that they get for more money spent in this one. And I will tell you, President Trump is probably stronger in the Republican Party than any other president. If you look at what happened last week, he's stronger than all of it. He's stronger than he was in his vote so he can defeat somebody who's watched that happen down in Texas. So he makes a major difference in these elections, and it's proven here too, because he defeated incumbents. Okay, in the first term, the president did endorse again. Now, he still was. Now, he discredited that candidate against the candidate. He's trying to be finished. There's a former Navy SEAL. This is a serious individual running, but the money was put behind, and I think the president has laid out, from his point of view, how strong he is. He could be trained over in the community.
Of course, Congressman Matthews, one of your favorites, right? While you were, I was guilty for you.
Matthews always been with the speaker. He's got on the rules committee. He voted. I mean, Matthews is a very principled man. I don't have any complaints with him. Now, he's both know a lot of times on it, but he doesn't backstab. He doesn't lie. He's very upfront. And he comes from Rand Paul. He's a libertarian. He's highly intelligent. MIT, his former wife, MIT, he has more patents. What I always found is put him in a productive place.
Today, y'all, let's talk about per capita. This is pretty much the only rebuttal that a lot of these folks can use against me. I'll disprove all of their false statistics, I'll debunk all of their arguments, and then they'll be like, but per capita. We're gonna put this to bed once and for all. Now, per capita, it does hold some value, okay? But guess what? It's not the full story. Now, I say that because per capita, you can use it to justify things that don't make sense, right? For example, if we use per capita, vending machines are more dangerous than sharks. Do you know why? Because more people die from vending machine accidents than they do sharks on a yearly basis. But logically, y'all, you really think a vending machine is more dangerous than sharks? So it's a slippery slope that I think a lot of people don't want to get into. Here's the thing, though. When a lot of these racist or white supremacists use per capita, they love to throw out these 13 suspicious stats, which is completely false, by the way. I'll debunk it really quickly. What they are referring to is the 2019 FBI data stats. Now, first and foremost, this is only talking about arrests, not convictions, no going to trial. And if you didn't know, black people are exonerated at the highest rate. In fact, they cover over 50%. Now, we also hear the stat that black people are 13% of the population who commit 55% of the murders. That stat does have truth to it, but you gotta have nuance with it. It sounds bad, but when you break it down, it's not bad at all. So I'm going to show you guys a clip from one of my previous videos where I broke these down personally. Now, for disclaimer, I did use ChatGPT. And these are the photos that they love to throw at me, basically trying to disprove what I say. But I use actual sources. What I did was went to the FBI 2019 stats, copied that link and told ChatGPT to lay everything out. It makes it easier for the audience to digest, and it makes it easier for me to explain. So according to the 2019, there were 13,927 murders. 54 of those victims were black, and 55% of them were killed by black people. That is around what? 7,600, I believe. In America, there are 40 million black people. And to go even more specifically, there are 22 million black men, 22 to 24 million black men. So in whole, out of 22 million black men, 7,000 of them are committing murder. You all know what percent of black men that is? 0.0, 35% of 22 million. That's not even nearly 1% of black men living in America. When not to justify most of this black on black crime, they like to call it, it's due to gang violence that they can prevent. Based on those same facts, around 3,000 white people were murdered by other white people. The reason I'm saying this, based off the 2019 FBI stat, right? 566 white Americans were murdered by black offenders. So 500 out of however many millions of white Americans there are, I'm going to put it on the screen. You're more likely to be struck by lightning than murdered by a black person. The point I'm trying to get at is that white America, your biggest fear is not being killed by a black person. The odds are so low. But you do know what? You have higher odds of dying by drug overdose. White America, you know, they've been going through it in that regard. Suicide. For some reason, like the death, I'm going to put all the numbers on the screen. So they put all this energy onto talking about black problems, black crime, black this, black that. They have bigger things to worry about. It's based off the same 2019 FBI data chart. They make up for 69% of all crime. Damn, 70%. Let's even use per capita because it still don't look too good for a lot of them. Did y'all know that white men, they make up 29% of the American population? But guess what, y'all? They account for 77% of all child key possession. The white community has a very bad child touching problem, but it seems like none of these politicians want to bring it up. Charlie Kirk, their biggest spokesman, never talked about this, but he wanted to talk about Trayvon Martin, black on black crime. If he really cared about the white community, he would have touched on this. Y'all get the fun. All of these right-wing conservative channels, even the black conservatives, they don't want to talk about this problem within the white community. Hell, look at the Epstein files. Nothing but white men on that list, and everybody else forgot. Could you imagine if it was literally black? Not to justify or take for Diddy at all, but did you see how many documentaries they dropped on him? We all see how fast they prosecuted him and did what they had to do. So with the Epstein people on that list, they just forgot. They was called them white kids. Just saying, I literally pointed this out when Epstein files came out, and I had a lot of people in the comments like, "Oh, bro, you're race baiting. Why are you making this about race?" Because, bro, you always see the double standard. These people on that list eating children, touching on them, doing unimaginable things, and nobody had shit to say. Nobody made it a race issue. Like, oh man, wow, right? Nobody. They try to make it a human issue. So pretty much per capita is close. And even if you per capita, y'all, it don't really look too good for the white town. This is pretty clear page, man, because I swear, y'all, you will be astonished at the crimes that white people commit in this country, but we never see it. It never makes the headline.
This is why I say, man, it's all about the media, the narrative. They force out these black fatigue videos. They force out these, videos of us doing dumb things, cherry TikTok, but a lot of their crimes, they hide. You don't know nothing about it. We're only charged with doing something to a 13-year-old girl. The business was forced to rebrand. Justin, 44, the owner of the growing business in North Carolina, has been charged with statutory of a child, first-degree burglary, and indecent liberty to the child. He's now facing serious charges in connection with alleged assault. So, you know what I'm saying? Man threatens mass shooting at Walmart as country is locked down over health violence. 3 women charged in child rape, kid ages 3 to 13 for, man arrested with 113,000 plus of child, you know what? Depicting infants and toddlers. Raymond 669 has been charged as the police found over 113,000. Oh my God. Yo, man had sex with his own daughter in airport. Travis Grove had a relationship with Yo, this is crazy, but I'm just showing y'all stories that y'all don't typically see. They don't want to talk about this. 22-year-old college grad fatally shot by boyfriend Jan. Whitney Robinson, 22, had just graduated college. Fatally shot inside his home. The shooter was Jeffrey Scott Howard, the father. Where is the riot? Whenever a white man picks up a white girl, there's no fuss about. But as y'all see with the young lady what happened in North Carolina that was tragedy by the way of the bus, they was ready to riot. But I see stories like that all the time of white men doing it to their own women. So it seems like a thing like, oh, we just want to do it to our own women. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care about the victims at all. Mother charged after 2 and 3-year-old daughters found drowned with cocaine in their system. Kindergarten teacher at Christian school pleads guilty to having, relations with 17-year-old, sentenced to only 40 days in jail. Man, police discharged a 44-year-old registered offender with 3 counts of, something with a child. It's always something with a child. Wichita man Brent Rains, a gang sentenced to over 27 years for refuse. Oh my goodness, bro. He was doing something to a child. I gotta speak like this too, because whenever I talk about these types of things, y'all YouTubers, it ain't even about the demonetization. They'll like flag it, so the video won't even get recommended. So that's why I'm talking like this. But if you can read me, bro, you know what they're doing. City Council, the guy that they exploited their 20 children and brother Flynn, who posed as a migrant while many kids secured. At that time, I lied to my friends, my colleagues. I sacrificed people. I deserve myself. If I had to do it again, to protect you, the mission, and the compass, yes, because the curse. The empathy carries us to something like that. It's what saying it's like. That's not my affirmation. What is this about, Marsha?
Trust me.
Whatever it takes, understand?
Tremble before blast!
great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the green? Only take?
Listen, I could show stories like this for days, but I'm gonna wrap it up right here. And my point is, man, when I bring stuff up like this, it's, oh, you're being white, you're racist, you're doing this, you're cherry picking. They throw all the things that, you know, we say against back it up. They're being the victims now. But when they're doing it, it's holding us accountable. So why can't we do it? Why can't we hold us accountable? And this is the thing, bro. If I was really petty, y'all, I could drop a video every day talking about white people. I could go online and find all type of articles that these folks doing dumb shit, illegal, touching on kids. I could do that. But I don't wake up with white people on my mind. You know, not no offense to y'all. You know, I just found it so funny these channels that stay on Black videos, dog. It's just, I could do the same thing. That shit is slop. It's slop. We're sad people every year. So yeah, dog, it's crazy though. But I really do want to focus on the child part of this video because it's something that we see a lot. And the only person that I really see that stood up and talked about it is Country was the number one.
Final score: 1-2.
A phenotype is biological fathers, but by default, it is being done by middle-aged Caucasian men. Many over half of them college graduates, many of them educated, good jobs. This isn't just who we're thinking about. Like, they're you know, technical savvy, and I think that it's time that we call them facts. Like, that we can't stand by and stand up. Like, we have to stand up and say, not only are we not doing our job as men, it's actually the opposite. Instead of being defenders and protectors of our families, we're hurting and abusing. You're seeing Afghans and Somalis and Albanians supposedly many times more likely to commit these kinds of offences, and it's taxed by a opponent frothing over the numbers as there's some kind of slam dunk. File the freedom of information request for a handful of local authorities who cherry pick the responses and then shockingly scrap into sweeping claims about migrants and their sexual predators. No theory, no proper context, and a thunderingly dishonest dose of statistical sleight of hand. I strongly recommend you look up Lewis Aaron's excellent work dismantling Bates' methods. He shows the dishonesty which comes from his elegance, and I'll link you to Lux Scrutiny today, the 2000 Fender with a white Porsche.
Y'all still touch on little kids more. And I need everyone to start holding these stats up towards them. The way they throw around 13, 50, throw this shit right there. Why do y'all be touching on kids, bro? What's up with y'all? Is it in y'all DNA?
This is sick. Those numbers are the numbers that trans people are responsible for. Look at those crime rates. It's disgusting. The sick individuals need to be rounded up. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. No, that's this white man. Whoopsie. So we'll excuse that, right? Right?
Yeah. Miami only make up 28% of the U.S. population, but it counts for 55% of kidnappers, 56% of rapists, 58% of mass shooters, 55% of child arrests, 62% of statutory rape. God damn, boy, 75% of incest. Per capita, that shit look bad for y'all. My thing is this: you can talk about you can talk about everybody here, but also keep it fair and bring up what white people are doing as well. But look, and I want to end this video off by giving a shout out to my little brother clothing line, dedicated to rats. I'm gonna put the Instagram on the page. He about to drop this, you know, this jacket with like a short set. It's fire, dog. But no more talking, man. If y'all want to see something similar to this, go check out Meet Your Boss and the Party Wear family.
Find a great rental car deal with Kyle. And find the confidence to do important things on your phone. Even if you still wear skins.
It's just like a very cool way to process super quickly. If I go here in Figma, I just have this design here that I bought. I can just take the link, I can copy a selection, and then I can go to Codex and I can just paste the link. Use the Figma skill to implement the automations page in my app. It was like 90% of the way there.
Oh. Starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you currently living in America, I need y'all to start doing overseas insurance. In November, Trump will be cutting 40 million people off of their SNAP benefits. And it's ironic that 42% of the people receiving these benefits are white citizens. I tell y'all this all the time, but racism destroys everything. And it's just like most of these conservatives that support this Chris, what is wrong with giving people pain, bro? Like, that's all I'm saying. They bring God and Jesus, but don't want to embody him at all. And I know a lot of y'all feel defeated, like, you know, what can we do? We can't do anything. We can. Start being more community-based. Start learning how to grow your own food. Let's start that trade and barter. Listen, the government cannot control you if, for one, you know how to get your own food. Number two, just physically up the farm. Make sure y'all do y'all daily push-ups. Make sure y'all walk 10,000 steps every day. Make sure y'all try to eat some fruit, veggies every day. Drink your water. You know, try to do the best you can. This kind of ties into growing your own food, but knowing how to, like, live off the land. Do you know how to start a fire? Do you know how to turn dirty water into clean water? Things of that nature. I'm rambling on. Let me get into the point of this video, though, man. Many Americans are fed up, and rightfully so.
All right, bro, I need you to lock in with me for a second, because I'm about to spit some numbers. This is insane. $38 trillion debt. 42 million Americans about to lose food. Somebody quit. Farmers are losing their subsidies. 40 million Americans are about to be kicked off their health insurance. $40 billion to Argentina and $22 billion to Italy. All while there's a $300 million ballroom being built on the White House, and we're giving tax breaks to billionaires. I'm gonna be real and honest with you, bro. This shit feels like a real let them eat cake moment. These niggas are playing in your face, my face.
It's literally like a y'all can't do nothing, so we gonna continue to do what we do. And you got these dead brain MAGA supporters, bro. Make America great again. You just want to make America racist again. My goodness. I mean, again, the shit still is.
Donald Trump, Juan Estes, and all these other pieces of shit in office now. If you're not gonna do what the government is supposed to do, provide for its citizens, right? What the? You might pay tax, right? Not feeding the babies we have. Why does the government want more? We're not feeding the babies we have. Why does the government want more?
Alright, I want to stop right here. This an amazing talking point. I remember Charlie Kirk debate when he was talking about the pro-life. You know, he's against abortion and things like that. Okay, I would respect your opinion, but when it comes to the children that are already here, he didn't advocate for free school lunch. So y'all don't want to take care of none of the kids that are starving and homeless here, but you want people to have more. So that when the baby get here, you can say, oh yeah, it's because they want you to be slaves. 9 times out of 10, that child is going to fall down the wrong path, end up in the jail system. And jail system is nothing but modern day slavery. It makes you to do billions of dollars. So I'm telling you, bro, when you sit down and think, it's like, like I said, you're doing it on the 9 to 5 mindset, like getting ready for either school or jail. Hey man, it's America, though.
So what's the statistic? Where's your proof that we're not feeding the babies we have? Oh, I don't know. Did you back that my toddler's daycare just opened a food bank in the f***ing lobby? My toddler's daycare just opened a food bank in the f***ing lobby because his classmates might not be able to eat. Who's
Here's how we are.
You know what to do, spiders?
My step?
Hell, guys. Bro, I tell y'all, whenever I go to the shop, I'm pretty sure I got 2 kids. I got 10 boys, they 2.5, 9 for the first sport. So, but I tell you, though, there's like, this is one. I have 3, like, peppers, food for them, especially high quality food. I'm a big proponent of that, fruit, veggies.
Bro, food is so goddamn expensive. I try to eat berries every day. So blueberries, you gotta the thing is you gotta get organic because if you don't get the organic food, it's sprayed insecticide for the shit. Anyway, organic berries. I love blueberries. I try to eat them every day. A cup like this food is like, it's fucking $7. $7. It's like, okay, it's something that grows in the earth and fruit.
I'm counting on you, friends. 9 minutes.
So when you say the beginning, you just started. You tried. Yes. What takes you to it? But structurally, there's nothing to this. There's something that only comes through you. This is a new way to create Wix harmony.
Oh, I love a shield.
We ought to wait for reinforcements.
We're a podcast show. No producer, no editor, no chef driven. You can just talk about based on my drinking, I can do this. Watch it. The real getting to be so different on industry. If you can see something else, people say to be certain. Instead of she posted songs about getting more water, you can start a podcast fish that you only share with you. 5 to 3 today.
America's listen, y'all. America, they say smart, it's the business. They cut down all of the fruit trees so that your ass gotta go to the store and buy them. Imagine all the trees we see around here. I remember specifically in my mama when I was growing up, we had an apple tree right in front of my house. It was cool as hell. Like, it's an apple tree. This is amazing. Next day, the shit's gone, cut down, and then they replaced it with a tree that don't bear fruit. What was the point of that? Like, I need a logical explanation. What was the point of that? It was like I can understand they cut it down and put it in there. They cut it down and put it just a big tree. But it's so happy. Like, just imagine you walk around our neighborhood and you see that, we got all these little trees that don't produce danger. And it's like, it was like a barber shop when I went to Jamaica. I went to Jamaica, I'm just walking around, putting trees everywhere. It's like, you can give me a food here. It's like, but why not like this in America?
2, 1.
Yeah, they're gonna burn, they're gonna kill, burn it. Got it? Talk about it. These things are just bad.
Sure those are bad
Yeah.
$1,000,000. Hey, shout out to this dude. This is the kind of shit you got mad. Y'all are not mad at the right. Y'all want to be mad at the immigrants. Y'all want to be mad at the black people. Y'all want to be mad at the transgenders. Be mad at the justice. I'm not saying that violence is the answer, but look throughout history. It's sad to be mad at things. Everything.
Most of us wake up and go to a job. That's because it's life. But we can't really quit because we got to get the money to pay the bills. And they say it's important to make what the she's the food of this life. He's going to the grocery store and buying food.
Bro, these niggas is dissing the problems. Fuck,
that is really giving you. Think about the water, y'all. Water is
done. America ain't number one big ass inflation. What the fuck is going on? It's like, what for us, because I'm an average American man. I work very niche job in the field. I make a very good income. My wife is a nurse. She is very good for herself. I'm very comfortable with it. But for the average American, this is way hard to get on here. You live in a okay? A good home is going to be at least average place. If not, okay? I try to explain this to my mom. Okay, it's a $200,000 house. Mom, this $200,000 house is a rundown shack. We're going to $50,000. Stop sit down, $20,000.
Now you fuck my son up again. You can't win. Come here. You can't win that.
Bro!
You don't really own shit because that's the
You dropped my stuff.
We're currently all slaves. Slavery never went away.
If I'm not mad, then you are.
The working system. Every day you have to get up super early, spend 8 hours a day at the wake.
Sorry, big dog.
On the dollar to make
Say hi.
health richer.
You over here.
You get hit with all these bills.
It's upside down.
Shit is going up. Things are way too expensive.
Yeah.
Only for getting too expensive ass bills, you're broke. You have to go to work again the next year. And then once you get paid again to pay your bills, you're going to be broke again. It's literally a rat race. It's like the guinea pig on the hamster wheel. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way because I just got paid and now I'm broke. And don't get me wrong, I haven't paid but but literally the top thing I got paid plus my 2 jobs is all of a sudden gone because of the have to go back to work again. Wait a whole week to get paid, to pay bills again. And the same amount of money I'm getting paid, people have 2, 3, sometimes 4 kids. I'm like, there's no way people are surviving, making the same money I'm making. With the kids. I don't have any kids. I'm straight mom. I'm still living at the crib. Yet these people have like all the like mouths that they have to feed, rules that they have to keep over their head, clothes that they have to buy. How are y'all doing that with the same amount of paycheck y'all get as me? It's literally impossible. Financial freedom is a whole flat out fucking lie. It's bullshit. Unless you were inheriting money, grew up in a rich family, hit the lottery, you're a crazy sports betting parlay, you're never gonna get rich. You're never gonna get it. Because they don't want you to. They want you to stay slaves and depend on that job. And work for 15 years of your life. And when you finally can retire with the little bit of money that you were able to save,
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
you have to be able to do the things at an older age compared to when you were younger. The United States working system was designed for us to be slaves for 40, 50, if not 60 years when we die. And then what happens when you die? They take half your money because of taxes. Don't get me started on taxes. That's another scam system that they created to keep you broke. It makes no sense how we go to work, bust our ass, and then they illegally take money from our paycheck. And then when it comes time to file taxes every single year, they actually demand you to pay more money on top of the money that they already illegally took in from you. The American dream is to get the fuck out of America.
It's wicked out here. And I feel like people aren't angry enough. Or they are angry, but it's just not really. Like I said, it's not the end of the no,
that's her bottle.
Not your neighbor, bro. It's motherfuckers at the top who want everything to stay chaotic down. Shit's hitting the fan, like I said, man. Y'all start projects, start growing your own food, start becoming closer with your neighbors, start being on point with your health food. Make sure y'all walking every day. Make sure y'all do push. Make sure you do the push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all stop at doors.
non-sensitivity. We're not telling you not to, have fun, play your games sometimes, but also be happy with what's going on. I recently just got into all this politics stuff. And it's like, man, bro, this acting affects everything. The politics affects everything. It even affects me. Me playing my game, my video game. Girl, you know what I'm saying? Fucking games can't made because it's too work. Like, it's crazy. So this stuff is affecting everything, every aspect of your life, and you better get ready. So, there's no more talking. Let's go check out this.
What, Julia? What?
I know what to do. You don't want to stay in the room,
Okay, here, you want something in your bottle, okay. Can you take the lid off of that? Can you take the lid off of that? Can you take the lid off of that, please? Or no? Can you answer that first and then I'll answer yours?
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Where do it?
Brad Cooper, the commander of leading Donald Trump the war to launch hearing Democrat congressmen were exposing the war crimes that were being committed and the lack of leadership being exhibited at the highest levels, Defense Department and frankly in the military. It was very disturbing to watch Admiral Cooper lie and look like a useless troll. It's really sickening to observe this at the top level of our military, because we've always been told, sure, while the Defense Department itself with Exif, Albert Colby, and all of these clowns can't be trusted, you can trust the people who are in charge of CENTCOM and Africa, and the people who are at the top levels of the military leadership. Actually, what I just observed at this congressional hearing, what I just saw Brad Cooper do, this guy could not be trusted, and frankly, this was disgusting to watch at the highest level of our military. Shame on Cooper, and shame on anybody here who refuses to acknowledge basic facts and to be transparent with the American people while we're watching this unlawful war play out that is making so many people suffer here and around the world. First, I want to show you Democratic Congressmember Crow. He's an Army Ranger. He's someone who has given us so much service to this nation in some of the most hostile combat zones. Watch his cross-examination, and I think even Congressmember Crow was taken aback. I don't think he thought it was going to go this way when he asked a very basic question of the Admiral, which is, do you agree that showing no quarter, as Texas says, is against our military rules? It says it right here in our military rulebook. Can you just read what the military rulebook says? Admiral Cooper, who's the leading CENTCOM, refuses to even acknowledge the words that are in the military rulebook. Watch what happens. And Congressmember Crow rightfully said, what you're exhibiting, sir, is not leadership. This was an incredible moment. Watch this.
I just read it to you. I just read it to you.
Yes, sir.
You're a combatant commander. You're one of our most senior military officers with tens of thousands of service members under your command. Does the Law of War Manual state that it is prohibited to utter, to declare, that no quota be given?
It prohibits a large number of things.
No, I
didn't follow.
I just read the provision to you. I just literally read the provision to you. Does it prohibit you or anyone else from declaring that no quarter be given? I just read it to you.
We will follow everything that's in the law.
Answer the question, Admiral Cooper. You have tens of thousands of service members under your command. And literally just read a provision from the Law of War Manual, our own manual.
will you not just say what I just read to you?
I would say that we will follow the law of armed conflict to the T.
This is just unbelievable to me.
I find the same thing true.
This is just unbelievable.
To follow the law of armed conflict.
You have tens of thousands of service members under your command. I literally, verbatim, just read a provision from our own law of war manual, and you will refuse to say what that provision says. Will you agree that it is prohibited under our own manual that you and all the people under your command are obligated to follow to declare that no quarter be given?
I will agree, consider my constitutional responsibility to follow the law of armed conflict to the T. And I expect everyone working for me to do that.
This is not leadership. This is not leadership. To not be able to say something as basic. The people, the men and women who we represent, who are under your command, deserve
Mr. Chairman, this is a personal attack.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, it occurred to you my question. I didn't say my time. Can we make you time for additional time?
I'm going to give you this.
It's our job to make sure the law is being followed. That is literally the obligation of this Congress. I read to you a provision of our own law of war manual, and all I want you to say is what the provision says. That it is prohibited, this is what the title says, to declare that no quarter be given.
I will follow the law to the T and expect everyone to do the same.
This is extremely disappointing. Our service members deserve far better. I yield back.
Let me make that. I want to make clear. Then we had another veteran, Democratic Congress member Seth Moulton, and he's cross-examining Cooper, and he's saying, I just want to understand basic English language. I understand you're going to obfuscate, you're going to refuse to answer questions, you're going to spew MAGA talking points, which is shocking for us to see at the commander of CENTCOM level. But sir, I just want to know about the English language. What's the difference between obliterated, when Trump said last June that the nuclear, all the nuclear plants and facilities in Iraq were obliterated, versus significantly degraded? Because we need to be honest with the American people, damn it. And then I want you to watch as Cooper squirms and again refuses to answer direct questions. This is really sickening to see. It really is. The top brave men and women in the military deserve so much better. All these incredible leaders in our military who have been served and deserve so much better. It seems to me to say this because I still admire our military, and especially at the highest levels, and again, refuses to answer those questions. This is really sickening to see. It really is. Because our brave men and women in the military deserve so much better. All the incredible leaders in our military who have been purged and deserve so much better. I hate
He just. You want some soda?
What's going? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, Daddy. Yo, what?
Across my face, ladies with small, delicious, beautiful hands, men with big, brolic, amazing hands, and non-binary people with something that I can't even fathom or annihilate inside of my body, chest, mind, and soul. We are talking about Trump forever being barred from the IRS ever investigating him. No, I'm not joking. No, I'm not making it up. No, I'm not hitting you with the Paley Wink nonsense. No, I'm not hitting you with the, oh, this is all a fake story. No, Trump has been forever barred indefinitely for being investigated by the IRS. And this is a very horrifying thing. That means that the IRS can't get him for laundering or tax fraud or tax evasion. And I was thinking maybe it was because he was too old. Maybe he was just an old man. He didn't have the ability to actually get it up anymore. His prostate's out of whack. He's actually spitting out dust out of his rocket socket. That's maybe what I'm thinking. But no, something worse is happening throughout the entire thing. This is disgusting. Donald Trump has done the most blatant, in-our-face corruption that I've ever seen in my entire life. This is disgusting, weird, wacky, and nasty. And right now, we're live. Hi. If you ever want to see me live, I go live at 4 o'clock basically almost most days. So let's talk about what's happening here. We're going to start with the BBC, the Big Black Broadcasting Channel. Not a big fan. Top Republican breaks with Trump on $1.8 billion compensation fund. Now, if you don't know what the compensation fund is for a bunch of January 6ers that got attacked during the riots going on against the Capitol. So, we actually have a word, sorry, that was a bit loud. We actually have a word from Donald Trump right here. Now, let's listen to exactly what he says.
The Justice Department has this new fund that was announced today, $1.7 billion. Why should taxpayers pay for the January?
So she is specifically stating that they're paying for the January 6ers. Now, if you don't remember January 6th, I'd like to rekindle your brain. I'd like to do something that helps you out inside of your mind. I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So we remember what happened on January 6th. Let's get a little bit of memory. If you just look up January 6th, you can see images popping through. You can see the nonsense that happened with January 6th, all the horrors that happened with January 6th. And January 6th, United States, it was a Capitol attack, because on January 6th, 2021, the United States and Washington, D.C. was attacked by a mob of supporters of President Trump in an attempted self-coup 2 months after his defeat in the 2020 presidential election. They sought to keep him power as a joint session of Congress from counting the electoral vote to formalize the victory of then-President-elect Joe Biden. The attack was unsuccessful in presenting the certification of election results, according to the bipartisan House Select Committee that investigated the incident. The attack was the culmination of a plan by Trump to overturn the election. This is on the Wikipedia page. It's Trump actively stating that, he initiated this. Within 36 hours, 5 people died. One was shot by the Capitol Police. Another died of somehow a drug overdose. What were you doing? CCP, rushing the Capitol, and 3 died of natural causes. You were too old rushing the Capitol? What were you doing at the Capitol rushing when you were too old? What's going on? Are you rushing the Capitol and you're old? Is that what's happening? You're an old man rushing the Capitol when that's what's happening there? Including a police officer who died of a stroke a day after being assaulted by rioters and collapsing at the Capitol. Jesus Christ. Sweet old Pete. You died of a stroke? He died from stroking it? That's disgusting. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry for his loss. I apologize for his happening. I'm sad that he lost his life. Many people were injured, including 170 police officers. 4 officers who responded to the attack died by, oh my God, within 7 months. Damage caused by the entire city, $2.7 million. It is the only attempted coup d'etat directly towards the federal government in the history of the United States. It was done by Republicans. So I want you to really understand why January 6th is such a prolific day in U.S. history. We got to live through the only coup d'etat directed towards the federal government. This is the only one ever in history. I want you to understand that. Call to action by Trump on January 56th. Thousands of his supporters had gathered in Washington, D.C. to support his false claim that the 2020 election had been stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats and to demand that then Vice President Mike Pence and Congress reject Biden's victory. Starting at noon on January 6th at a Save America rally on the Ellipse, Trump gave a speech in which he repeated false claims of election irregularities and said, if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. This was disgusting. Disgusting. As Congress began the electoral count, thousands of attendees, some armed, walked to the Capitol, and hundreds beat police perimeters. Among the rioters were leaders of the Proud Boys and the Okie militias. Now, you don't know what the Proud Boys are. We got to remember what the Proud Boys are. We can't forget about the Proud Boys. Is an American free, far-right, neo-fascist military organization that promotes and engages in political violence. The group leaders have been convicted of violently opposing the federal government. The Proud Boys, basically, neo-fascists, basically, neo, N-A-Z-I. That's what we have going on here. This is the discuss that was happening here. So, now, please note that these people were attacked on January 6th. We got the dots connected, you're connecting it, and these people with taxpayer money are now being pardoned in a $1.7 billion fund to excuse their legal fees. Let's keep going.
Been very well received. I have to tell you, I know very little about it. I wasn't involved in the whole creation of it and the negotiation. But this is reimbursing people that were horribly treated. It's anti-weaponization. They've been weaponized. They've been, in some cases, imprisoned wrongly. They paid legal fees that they didn't have. They've gone bankrupt. Their lives have been destroyed. And they turn out to be right. I mean, it was a terrible period of time in the history of our country. And they worked on it. I know the Justice Department has really been working on it very hard. There's been numerous other occasions over the years where things like this have been done, but these were people that were weaponized and really treated brutally by a system that was so corrupt, with corrupt people running it, and they're getting reimbursed for their legal fees and the other things that they had to suffer.
So this is what we're dealing with here. So let's go deeper into the compensation fund that is going on with this nonsense. So this is really disgusting, right? It's nasty. So we have this going on here. This is one of his advisors, one of the people that are against the fund, by the way. We're going to talk about this. Republican Senate Majority Leader John Thune has split with the Trump administration over the creation of a $1.8 billion fund aimed at compensating individuals unfairly investigated by previous administrations. Now, this is not justice in any capacity. It's not even an unfair investigation. They were noticing corruption and decided to investigate. They are now using taxpayer money to help January 6ers who did the only attack against the federal government. This is very important. This is wildly important to talk about this. And speaking to reporters, Thune said he was not a big fan of the fund, adding that he did not see a purpose for it. He is the most high-profile member of Trump's own party to criticize the plan. And this is very important because if Trump's own people don't even like the plan, why are you even doing it? Democrats have condemned it as a slush fund for Trump's political allies, including some charged and convicted over the 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. So if you are loyal to Trump, you gain this fund, essentially. Now, people are saying that Democrats can access it too, and I don't care if Democrats can access it too. As a matter of fact, I don't care if the far left, the far right, I don't care who can access it. The fund shouldn't exist in the first place. Using taxpayer money is my biggest concern. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche defended the move on Capitol Hill, saying that compensation was nonpartisan and available to anyone. That's disgusting still. That just shows corruption at the highest power. He's showing that it's not left or right anymore. It's up versus down. Because you're attacking people at the bottom for the actions of people at the top is what's happening here. This is disgusting. The anti-weaponization fund was unveiled on Monday in exchange for Donald Trump dropping a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS over the leak of his tax returns to the media, said the Justice Department. Disgusting. The lawsuit's plaintiffs, which include Trump's elder son, Donald Jr. and Eric, and the Trump organization, received an apology, but no monetary compensation, the department says. So the IRS doesn't get to pay anything. They don't got to pay anything at all. The IRS doesn't get to pay anything. We are watching the League of Evil, the League of Super Evil, investigate themselves for being evil. That's what we are witnessing right now. That's what's happening. So it's disgusting. It's nasty. The fund will consist of a 5-member commission, 4 of whom will be appointed by the Attorney General, that will have a total of $1.7 billion available to settle and pay cases, a figure that refers to the U.S. declared independence from Great Britain 250 years ago. Shout out to 1776. God, I love America. God bless America. Son, that's a powerful name, by the way. The top-ranking Republican in the U.S. Senate said that he was not sure exactly how they intend to use it, and that he expected to undergo a full vetting by lawmakers. My assumption is that based on some of the blowback that comes since this was announced, there will be a significant amount of attention paid to it, he said. In an update on Tuesday, this is today, the Justice Department quietly filed a 1-page memo that expands the settlement and says that Trump is guaranteed to not be investigated for tax crimes in the future. Trump is guaranteed. Trump is guaranteed.
I'll do whatever a spider can.
Right? To not be investigated for tax crimes in the future. Guaranteed. He can do fraud. He can do evasion. He can do money laundering. He will not be investigated by the IRS in any capacity. We need this to also well be attacking us at this point. Do you realize what that means? Do you realize what this means? Right? And I want to point this out. The document signed by Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has, but not by the IRS, says that the tax threat against me is forever barred and precluded from pursuing examinations of Trump's finances. Are we for real right now? They are forever barred and precluded from pursuing examinations of Trump's finances. Oh, whoa, I'm not done yet. I'm not done. Hold on a second. You thought I was done? Put that boy back in the oven. Those cookies gotta cook a little bit longer. They're a bit too soft. Let's get hard for a second. It extends this protection to related and affiliated individuals and related trusts and businesses. I want to read this. I want you to really understand. I want you to really understand what I just said. That forever, the IRS is forever barred from ever examining anybody that is affiliated or related to Trump and any related trusts and businesses. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a real thing, right? Now this is really important too, because Hunter Biden, hold on a second, we got Hunter Biden, hold on a second, Hunter Biden, the crackhead, my goat, could file claims, says Vance. Oh, it was Hunter Biden. Democrats could actually file claims too. I don't know why you're so mad about this. This is insane. Asked about the fund during a news briefing on Thursday, Vice President J.D. Vance said it had been misrepresented by the media. Anyone can apply for it, he said, adding that this included President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, who was convicted of felony gun-related charges in 2024. How is that an unfair investigation? I'm sorry. How is that an unfair investigation if he actually had the gun charges? What do you mean by unfair? What compensates? What is the ability of unfair investigation? And I remember we're paying for it. Every time you get taxed on food or groceries, every time you get that video game tax, every time you get taxed on eggs, every time you get gas tax, every time you do anything that involves taxes, anytime you pay your taxes, you're paying for this. This is you, Soldier Boy. You are paying for this. That's what's happening. And in congressional hearings early on Tuesday, Blanche also defended the fund, arguing that Democrats are not excluded from receiving compensation. This is insane. While he acknowledged the fund was unusual, Blanche said it is not unprecedented. Interesting. So you admit that having freedom, having the taxpayers pay through the legal fees of people is unusual. Interesting. It's not limited to Republicans, you said. There's no limitation on the claim. I guess I can file for it, right? I guess I can file for it, right? Okay, interesting. Okay, that's so strange. Blanche faced criticism from Democrats during the hearing. Washington State Democratic Senator Party Patty Norray, for example, said that the fund is corruption that has never been more blatant and more widespread. Obviously, yes, this is ridiculous. This is insane. What is happening is you write the checks up and his cronies cash it. American taxpayers who are already being threatened with high prices are going to foot the bill, she said. This is so blatantly corrupt. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in terms of nonsense over and over again. It is insane to witness. I have never in all of my days, in all of my years on this earth, seen something so wildly, blatantly corrupted. And I wanted you to understand that you may hate the far right. No, you may despise them. You may hate conservatives. You may hate your church-going neighbor that says it's a sin that you're gay and you're getting your chocolate starfish blasted every single day. And you guys are arguing with each other, arguing, well, you're an evil man and you suck. And it's fair to argue because you want to feel powerful. Hell, you might go on Twitter and get in a 20-page argument, arguing with your whole chest, mind, body, spirit, and soul about, oh, we got to defund the police. We got to get equal rights for everybody. We got to do that. And you could argue that till you're blue in the face. And if you're on the right, I'm sure you're going to argue and say nonsensically, well, Black Lives Matter gets a bunch of stuff and they got DEI initiatives. Why do they have DEI initiatives? Black people have had the same chance as everybody else in this country. Black people have had the same rights and benefits as everybody for all I can remember. And I would like to show you something for all the people that say that.
When did black people get the right to vote? When did black people get the right to vote? Well, that was the Voting Rights Act of 1965 that ensured fair voting, which just got overturned. Oh, I'm sorry. That just got overturned. This is how black people were getting the right to vote, but the Voting Rights Act, I believe, I'm pretty sure, just got overturned, right? Just hands down to, yeah, it did. It did. It did. The Voting Rights Act just got overturned. Oh, it did. It just got gutted. It got gutted. With the Federal Voting Act got gutted. Michigan has to craft their own version. This is the whole thing there. I want to point this out. This is disgusting. The Voting Rights Act was there. The U.S. Supreme Court has eviscerated the Voting Rights Act. What's next? That was to make sure that not just black people, but you too, white people, were having the ability to vote. So that was, and this is going to sound cool, that was a DEI initiative, though. That was a DEI initiative. Now, what did the Voting Rights Act do? Now, you probably don't know what it did. The Voting Rights Act is a landmark U.S. federal statute that prohibits racial discrimination in voting. But that's DEI. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care, right? It prevents racial discrimination. It was signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson during the height of the Civil Rights Movement on August 6, 1965. Congress later amended the act